Welcome back, everybody. Wanted to do a quick video tonight to show you a few things that came in the mail since the weekend, but also wanted to just kind of follow up from my video from the weekend about my kind of conundrum, trying to figure out which was the next set I wanted to be able to complete. I actually think I've narrowed it down to two. Narrowed it down to two sets, and my goal was to potentially do an old Bowman set. So we're looking between the years of 1948 through 1955. And I think I've narrowed it down to two, and so I pulled out some cards from those two sets. One being the 1948 Bowman set. There's only 48 cards in the set. Most of them are commons, but there's some pretty big rookies in there that actually would be a little bit more expensive. And I thought it might be attainable to be able to kind of get most of these maybe in an SGC holder to kind of go with the Enos Slaughter that I already have right here. I think it might look really cool to have a full set of cards, possibly graded, but not exclusively. I'm kind of open to even looking at stuff that's not graded as well to keep the cost down. And then 1953 Bowman Color is the other one, which I think I was leaning to these over the weekend during my video. And those are the ones I'm kind of looking at right now. So yeah, so thanks for all the input for people who kind of made some comments. I'll let you know when I eventually get started on this. Probably will be in the next few months where I'll start picking up cards for it. So when you see things come in, you'll get an idea that I got started on it. All right, so the video I wanted to do tonight, I wanted to just obviously get a little nod to Albert back here in the corner because obviously he's nearing 700 home runs, which is a very exciting career achievement for him. My cat's trying to join in the video, so hopefully I can keep her out of the video. But I wanted to show off a few things I got in the mail today. So the one thing I am working on, I don't have too many projects left on my list or too many things left on my watch list either I've been looking at. But one of the ones that's still kind of eluding me is the remainder of the 2001 Topps Gold set. So I got some cards this week. I'm actually going to be able to kind of maybe move the camera just a little so you can capture a little bit. And I wanted to kind of just show the cards I picked up. So I've been working on trying to get, I've extended it to the traded set as well, where I'm trying to get the Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers, and I've even done some star cards too for guys that may or may not end up in the Hall of Fame that probably were steroid users, or not steroid users, but were just kind of stars of the day. So this was the first year they did Topps Gold as a serial numbered set within the base set. You were not guaranteed getting a gold card per hobby box, which is kind of wild when you think about it now, where you're probably definitely going to get one. So these were actually pretty hard to pull just because of the production was up really high for the 50th anniversary of Topps. So it was a pretty big release when they did it, especially Series 1 and 2. Maybe not as much for the final series, which was the Topps Traded series. So Barry Larkin is the only loose card I got. So I picked up this one, finally got him knocked off the list. There's some players I just rarely ever see for sale, and I haven't been able to purchase them. Barry Larkin was one that eluded me for a long time, so fortunately I've been able to pick him up. So that's one of them. One of the other ones I never see is Jim Thome. So if you know anybody out there that's got that card, direct them to me. I definitely want to pick it up. All right, so this one I was super excited to be able to get. It's a graded copy of Derek Jeter. And I've been potentially wanting to even consider submitting some of the ones I have for grading. Pop reports on these cards are not really high. I haven't sent a lot of any of these in for grading, either in PSA or SGC. If they did, it's the rookies of Ichiro and Albert Pujols. It's not necessarily the base stars. So when you could find a graded card of some of these star players, they do kind of go pretty quickly. And this one in particular, because it's Derek Jeter, obviously was a pretty popular card. It was posted for a day. I made an offer and I picked it up within 24 hours of its posting. So I'm pretty happy to be able to get Derek Jeter into the collection in a graded one. In fact, this is only one of two cards SGC is graded of Derek Jeter from this set. And I think PSA has more, but doesn't have many 9s. There's no 10s, PSA 10s of this card because of the delicate nature of the card borders on these. So that's like also makes it a little bit different. So we got Derek Jeter added to the collection. Here, maybe I'll move Enos Slaughter off to the side and put Derek in the background. Put him in front and center there of Albert. I also picked up CC Sabathia. He's actually got 2 cards when you look at the entirety of it. He's got one where he's on a multiple player card in Series 2, which I don't have, so I'll probably need to pick up that. And also Adam Wainwright has also got a card like that too. So I'm gonna have to kind of dig a little bit deep to see if there's some stars I missed or possibly some future Hall of Famers when I originally made my list. So here's CC Sabathia. I think he's definitely on the right direction to be able to get into the Hall of Fame. Here, move red Shandies, put CC in the background here. And the final one I got was Ricky Henderson from the Topps Traded series in a Padres uniform. He does have a card in the lower series within the Mariners. This was when he was with the Padres when he played for the 2001 season. I have pretty good memories just of this season because this is where we had pretty high hopes for the White Sox. They had just won the division the year before. They'd made some moves to add to their pitching staff by picking up like David Wells. So we were really excited going into the season. I was actually in the went to some of the playoff games the year before. And they just had a terrible season in 2001. And it made me think of this too, because this is kind of repeating itself right now where they are really underperforming and they also look like they're really tight. Looks like a team that is not bound to really do any damage should they get into the postseason. In fact, I have the game on in the background over here, and they're losing to Baltimore at the moment, a team that they really need to be beating if they're going to be a contender in the playoffs. And I love Baltimore. I think they're a great, fun, exciting team. But the White Sox, if they want to be doing anything in October, they have to be able to win these types of games in these series, and I just don't see it. So 2001 kind of takes me back to that season of disappointment for the White Sox. Good news is that, a few years later, they actually won the World Series. So you just never know if you kind of stick it out with the team. And it was actually after they got rid of a lot of the players from the 2000 team. They had a few players that stuck around that were part of that roster, that core group of guys after that. But it was a lot of the new guys that came up through the system, such as Mark Burley was a good example of a guy that came out of kind of nowhere within their farm system and was a big part of the 2005 team. So anyway, that's what I got to share with you guys tonight. I'll do a whole recap of the 2001 Hall of Famers when I actually have them all. So you can not anticipate that video anytime soon. You can actually see a previous video of mine if you want to look up any of the gold cards up to this point. The ones I've collected, I've added a few since then, but it gives you a good recap of the ones I've collected so far. And in fact, I have most of the Hall of Famers outside of I have most of the current Hall of Famers, but the future Hall of Famers, I still need Ichiro and Pujols. There's just a few that I don't have at this point that I'm hoping to be able to pick up in the future. All right, have a wonderful night.